Welcome to another episode of Catch the Vision, the place where we talk to people who are walking in a God-given vision, not just chasing money, not just chasing trends, but you know what? Today, we have 𝐸𝐵HOUSE, all the way from L.A., Los Angeles, all the way from Los Angeles, the visionary behind Panache Designs. Your brand brings African luxury, bold colors, powerful meaning together in every piece that she creates. And you didn't start Panache Designs just because, you wanted a side hustle or something like that. You started because you felt a calling from God, a call to create, uplift, and show the world the beauty of African design with excellence. But keep in mind, her journey has had challenges, moments where she could have stopped, and most people do, but for whatever reason, you stayed committed to what God placed in your heart. And so I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you for flying in from L.A. What was that like? Did you, coming from L.A. yesterday, was that like, was the trip coming here pretty smooth, or you had some turbulence at the airport or delays?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah.
The trip from LA was crazy.
Really?
It got delayed by 4 hours.
Wow.
And then the flight that was before us actually left when we were there. So that was delayed by 4 hours.
Wow.
We ended up arriving in Dallas, Texas at midnight. So I have not slept since last night.
That's called vision, all right?
That's vision, right?
That's probably why you're here on Catch the Vision.
Oh, man.
Look, people need to know that, there are sleepless nights, huh?
That's true.
Yeah. And so Chippo, let's talk about when you had this inkling that Panache Design was something that was placed in your heart. Like, was this, during your childhood years? Was this during your adult years? Like, when did it, when did you have that, in your spirit that, hey, this is what I need to be doing?
So you're not going to believe this, Kevin, but
Try
when
me. Try me.
I remember I was 10 years old.
Really?
And I was sitting outside. We were doing a sewing class. I was.
Now, when you say sitting outside, like here in the United States or where?
No, it was in Zimbabwe.
So you're from Zimbabwe?
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And they do teach sewing classes to students, right?
Okay.
And so we're outside, and it was my favorite class because, I loved the bright colors that we used to use in the fabric, the thread, and they'll teach us needlework. And there'll be different, like yellow and red and green colors that you could stitch together, do crisscross stitching, whatever you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember looking out at my hands, I had my hands out like this, and the sun was shining on my hands. And I said, in my heart, I knew that when I get older, I'm going to be working using my hands. That's how I was going to make my money.
Really?
Fast forward 2 years later, I'm in Texas, and I'm struggling as a single mom.
Now, what year was this?
That was in
Like the early 2000s?
Early 2000,
Okay.
probably 2004-ish,
Okay.
2005.
Okay.
I'm struggling as a single mom. I didn't have anything to feed my baby. I would look forward to those diaper samples that come in the mail.
Really?
And then, so I figured, you know what? I know how to sew. My dad was a fashion designer. I learned sewing from high school, from junior school, So I was like, why don't I just start sewing? And the money I make from there, I can help feed my baby, and I'll empower all other single moms as well. So that's what I started doing. But there was this push within me.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stop. Everything that I did was just always going towards building this thing that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know what I was building at that time, but it was just something that kept pushing me. And I kept going even though I had no money. I just started sewing for friends. And before you know it, I was doing fashion shows at Dallas City Hall.
Really?
At the mayor's office. And after that, I attended school and, went to fashion school
Mm-hmm.
and obtained my degree, and the rest is history.
So let's go back for a second. Because you could have easily, said, I gotta, in order to feed my child, I don't have a job at this moment, so let me just get on the system. Why did you not do that?
That was just, I felt like, I did not want to be just labeled a single mom. Like, oh, that's another single mom. Or maybe I called it handouts. I wanted to start something for myself.
Okay.
And I wanted to be the one that's able to pull other single moms to the platform, that whichever platform I get to be, I give them that second chance. So my vision has always been, I want to empower other single moms so that they do not go through what I went through.
And so I want to, again, just rewind back to you living in Zimbabwe. So before you came here to the U.S., like, did you have a certain amount of money and then, coming over here to the U.S., or like, what did that look like?
So,
I mean, and were you born like into royalty? Is your dad a king?
Oh, wait.
You never know.
No.
Okay.
No, I was just a regular person like
Okay.
you and me. I'm just kidding. But no, I want to say I grew up struggling. We did not have a lot in our family. And unfortunately, my father was not the best role model.
And I want to get to that, but I really want to know, like, because when I hear stories of people coming here to the U.S., right, it's all these amazing stories. Some people, came by way of, a boat, right? Some people came by way of, a stowaway in an aircraft, right?
Okay.
And I mean,
So
did you come through like a spaceship or something?
I'm like a queen.
Right.
No, so I did come, like, I was starting from the story to say, I had to come up with my own money.
Really?
Buy my own ticket.
So your family didn't give you?
We were not that, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I did ask my dad if he could help me out, because
What did he say?
No.
Like, just like you
flat
said?
out,
Like,
no. Yeah.
how did that like make you feel, or did it even affect you?
So it did. It affected me in a huge way. And I thought to myself at that time, like, I'm going to show you. Like, it just gave me this empowerment to say, okay, that's how you are,
All right.
but I'm going to show you who I can be. So I knew not to rely on him. I knew I had to be, I think something was born within me to just go out there and get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I look at things. Just go get it.
So what was the amount that you had coming into the U.S.?
I had $400.
Really?
I had saved up $400.
Okay. All right. And that's not that wasn't in part of your airline ticket to get here, right?
No.
So you had to buy your airline ticket
I
yourself?
bought my airline ticket
Okay.
at that time, but you got to understand there's the currency, right? The exchange rate
Right.
and all that. So back then, one US dollar was worth 17 Zimbabwean dollars.
Okay.
So to convert all of that, I think my ticket was about 23,000 Zimbabwean dollars.
In American dollars, like 1,200, 1,500?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, my math ain't that good. But yeah. But this $400 was 400 US dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you got here, to the U.S. with $400. Like, did you make it stretch, or it went like that, or what?
I had other situations that I encountered as soon as I got here. So yes, part of it went to buying food.
Right.
And I got to tell you this story. We went into a supermarket. This was the first time I ever got into a store, right? We do have stores in Zimbabwe, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Nice stores too. But I had never seen the sliding doors.
Really?
And I'm like walking through the door and I'm like, oh my God, where am I? It was so
So back home, it's like the doors you open like this?
Yeah, it was just regular doors, or even they'll be wide open like that.
Okay,
But so you know what? There could have been places in Zimbabwe that had that.
You just hadn't been exposed to it.
I had not been exposed to that.
Okay.
So that was really exciting for me.
Wow. And so, as far as your daughter, so it sounds like your daughter was born here in the U.S.
Yes.
Okay. And, you gave birth to your daughter.
Right.
And at that point, you were, at that point, a single mother. And were you doing like odds and end jobs,
yes.
Okay.
So when I started off, there's another backstory to that I'm not going to get into.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I was in Chicago, and I the only job I could get at that time was a maid. I was a maid.
You were a maid?
I was a maid.
Okay.
Because, you come to a point where you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
Sometimes, you're not beneath anything. Like, you just have to start somewhere.
Okay.
So I'm in a new country. I don't know anybody. I don't know, people that I can reach out to. But yeah, I was a maid in Chicago.
How long did you do that?
For a few months, probably close to a year.
Okay. Man.
But if you had asked me back then that I would be sitting on a podcast, like talking in
you never saw any of that?
None of that. Not at that point.
Okay. So let's talk about the name Panache. What does that mean for us to understand?
Panache means, it's a Shona word that means God is in this place.
Okay.
God is here. So when I'm designing clothes, I'm declaring this temple to say God is in me. God is in this temple. God is in this house. So when you wear Panache designs, you're declaring the same. You're royalty.
Now, even though the name, speaks royalty, was there any time, during the creation of Panache where you was like on limited funds and like you just had to?
No, are you talking from the single mom point of view?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there were trying times for sure. There was a lot of adversity.
What was the toughest thing?
The toughest thing, okay, I'll give you a story, like an example.
Okay.
One day I woke up, right? I'm in my apartment with my daughter, and we had absolutely nothing
to
eat. Nothing, not even a banana, nothing. But I woke up and I just whispered to God, and I said, God, I'm hungry. I could use like a hot meal with my daughter. Just something hot, something to cook, like maybe chicken, maybe rice, something just to cook and sit down and enjoy at the table with my daughter. Now, I did have a friend that lived right around the house, the same apartment complex. I could have gone to her house and just knocked at the door and say, hey, girl, do you have a banana or something? I'm starving. But it wasn't that kind of hunger that I meant at that time. I just meant, Lord, feed me. I'm hungry. I just want a hot plate for today. Enough for today. I kid you not. As soon as I'd said that prayer, maybe a couple hours later, a friend of mine calls me and she said, Chippo, are you home today? I said, yes. She says, do you still make clothes? I said, yeah. She said, how much would you charge me? And I'm trying to think in my head real quick, like what big amount can I charge her for this dress, right? I said, oh, it'll be $100. She didn't argue. She's just, okay, I'll be there at 1:00. She comes to my house, knocks at the door, and she said, I got some stuff in my car. Can you please help me get them out? I tell you, my favorite stores were the dollar store, Aldi, because I could get a lot for my money, right? She had bags from Kroger. I had never shopped from Kroger before. She had bags and bags from Kroger.
That she was going to give to you?
Filled with food.
Really?
My refrigerator was packed. My daughter comes back from school and she's like, she just opens the fridge. She goes, what? Where did this come from? Because she wasn't used to that.
Right.
We were not used to it.
Wow.
But that night, I cooked my chicken, and I had the rice, and I had the greens, and I had the veg. It was amazing. Sat down, enjoyed my chicken with my daughter. It was a good meal. And I'll remember
And did you get the $100 too?
I got the $100.
And what type of outfit did you design?
I made her a dress.
Really?
But at that time, I feel bad. But I don't think in my, like if I at that point, the detail wasn't there. I just made a dress because I didn't know how to do.
Putting it together, just put something
right,
together.
I just cut it out.
Let me ask you this question: was she satisfied?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think she just did that to help me.
So do you think she just did that, or do you think that was one of God's angels?
It was definitely God's angels, and to this day, every time I talk about it, hold on.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to have church up in here now. So, 𝐶𝐨𝐽, and I think I know, but I would rather hear it from you. What's the bigger mission behind Panache Design?
Panache Designs is to empower. The mission is to empower other women, other single moms like myself.
And when you say empower them, what does that look like?
It means step up to the plate that I'm at. Like, I can help you. So I'm big with education. I feel like if every woman gets that education, you can do, you're there for your kids. You can do whatever you can to help your kids and get them through school with whatever they need, right? So if you empower in that sense of providing education, I think it goes a long way.
Now, is empowerment for you, is it another form like economic empowerment? I mean, I know it's educational empowerment, but... Yes.
So there's also empowerment in helping them do what I did. Sew something so they can sell it.
So are you saying, like, especially for women who are what we would call creatives?
Yes.
Okay.
Creatives, or anybody that would love to know how to sew.
Okay.
I want, teach them, do workshops, do seminars, and just show them how to hold a needle, put on a button, sew a button on, and different hand stitching. Even if you have like a small home sewing machine, we can do those classes too. So.
All right, so let's talk about some of the pieces you created. As a matter of fact, you have on a piece that you created right now. I'm looking at now. I'm wearing the check.
You should have been wearing it.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm not going to say what it is, but
right?
Yeah. So talk, walk us through this particular design and what inspired you to, design, something that's comfortable.
So a lot of people. So this is one of the collections that I have.
Right.
Like you had stated earlier, we have like the African-inspired collection that is hand-painted by women in Zimbabwe. The material is hand-painted. So that's where we get the fabric from.
All the way from Zimbabwe?
All the way from Zimbabwe.
Now, not like in the hood or nothing like that. I mean, the neighborhoods and stuff like that, huh?
I travel. I was going to say drive.
I was going to say, now, wait a minute.
I fly to
That's
Zimbabwe.
That's about, 6-month drive? Not to mention water. So, but you fly. So how often are you flying over there to get material?
It's quite expensive to go to Zimbabwe. So
wow.
we try to go every 2 to 3 years.
So when you go there, you getting a lot of material.
I'm getting what I can because, you've got the weight limit,
Yeah.
luggage limit.
Yeah.
So you have to consider that. And then, I might consider leaving some of my clothes that I had when I went over.
Really?
Just to bring
the fabric
just to
back.
bring the fabric.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now the
so with this, like I said, it's one of the collections.
okay.
But my daughter had been pushing me, Mom, you need to make a jogger set. Like you need something that is just casual.
Right.
People can just lounge in,
Right.
chill out, go to the gym. That has your name on it, Panache. Well, the brand
Right.
name on it. So
Because it don't say Chippo, but
no, it says Panache, and Panache is yeah.
Oh no, it's best way.
So and then her other little friends were like, "Oh yeah, I would love one in black." So I had just to go out there, create different colorways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the only one that's embroidered because
Really?
because it's black, and I wanted something that shines with the brand name on it.
Okay. Let's talk about some of your other pieces. And of course, for those that are, watching, the website is the bomb. We're going to talk about that website too.
Yeah.
But what are some of the other pieces that you have created?
So I've done a few pieces here and there. So on the website, there is the Akanaka collection, which is like 4 colorways, different patterns in blues, greens, browns and greens, and then in orange.
Mm-hmm.
Those different sets, it's pants and tops, they have different meanings behind the naming of the sets, right?
Okay.
So, for example, the orange one, I called it 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐞𝐿. 𝐟𝐸𝐫𝐿 means shining bright. It's orange. It's
Shine bright like a diamond?
Shine bright like a diamond.
Okay, all right.
So orange is actually my signature color. So with all the jackets that I have, the ones that I get from the materials brought in from Zimbabwe, the lining is orange. So it's kind of like the staple, the signature. And that says Panache. When you see that, you see anybody else, nobody else has that right now. So if you see anybody else, then you just excuse me, that's Panache.
Well, and speaking of, saying that's Panache, what do you want women to feel when they, step in your clothes?
So Panache is all about empowerment. It's all about getting confidence, being bold, right? So
Do you think, some women are, missing that confidence?
I'm going to speak for me. I'm going to speak for myself.
Were you missing that confidence?
I was missing that confidence.
Why?
So from my background,
Okay.
the way I was raised, like I mentioned earlier, I did not have a good relationship with my father. And that just, I had very low self-esteem and I just didn't know me.
So when you, so as far as the low self-esteem, I mean, would your dad say things, out of, call you out of character, or, cause I mean, sometimes, I've heard women say, yeah, when I was a kid, this gap, I didn't, wouldn't smile. I mean, of course they have learned to embrace it now. Right. But, those childhood, I call it childhood trauma when, the kids are teasing you or family members are teasing you. Did you experience anything like that?
Not from kids, no, but especially with my dad, like I said, the relationship was not there.
Okay.
Right. So I did not have that positive father figure around me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to me, that created this, I don't know, very low self-esteem within me, that everything that I created, I had imposter syndrome, and I still suffer from that even till today. But I noticed that the lack of confidence comes from maybe a little bit from my culture, maybe a little bit from my upbringing with my dad being he was a violent man.
Really?
Right. Yeah, he was a violent man. So with the fist fights and, it was very challenging for me. But I think that prevented me from speaking up when I need to, right?
So you were shut down?
I was shut down.
So from, that experience, when you came here to the U.S., like, were you in relationships that was unhealthy for you?
That's interesting that you asked that question, because I feel like as young girls, the first relationship you have with a man or a male is the father figure that you have around you, right? You look up to them. They're supposed to be your protector, but if that becomes your abuser, now that's all you know.
So you start attracting that.
Yes, and you normalize.
Even from an unconscious standpoint.
Right.
Okay.
That behavior, and you carry that with you. You may not know it, but there's a vibe that you're sending out.
Really?
And you seem to attract the same type of person that you're used to, right? And I think I suffered from that too, because I kept finding, or they kept finding me. Maybe they could see my low self-esteem within me, and they would manipulate that character or that lack of confidence. They could see that.
So how did you begin to build your confidence?
I had to pray. That's honestly how I built my confidence. I had to say, God, I don't know what a positive father figure is like. And from that, I don't know what kind of husband is good for me. So can you be my father? I literally had to ask him to show me how I need to respect my father, because that respect had gone out the window from the beatings, and that was not there anymore. So I'd say, you need to teach me how to respect a father, so that when it comes for the time for me to get married, I can recognize that power within that male figure, so I can, we can be a power team. But it was a very challenging time. But teaching myself, or through prayer, through reading the word, and relearning who I was, what I wanted, because I would always be that people pleaser. When let's go watch a movie, and I'll be like, okay, so what do you want to watch? They'll go, I want to watch this, and I know I don't like that type of movie, but I would go anyways.
Really?
Because that's what they want to watch.
Right. And you didn't want to upset or...
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I learned that pretty quickly, that, I can be me. I took...
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah. And we're going to get to that about, when you make a decision to take a stand on something.
Right.
So, let's because I want to lead up into going into 2026. But before we go into that, people are probably saying, okay, Kevin, you keep saying she flew in from LA to come here to Dallas. So if you would share with everyone the backstory of how why are you even here?
You brought me. I'm just kidding.
Like, tell them, how did we even meet? Because I didn't even know you existed, 10 days ago? 15 days ago?
Right.
Yeah, about 15 days ago. I didn't even know there was even a Chippo on planet Earth.
So I give thanks to God, and I give thanks to Stephanie.
Now, who is Stephanie?
Stephanie is our friend, my friend, and our mutual friend, right?
And the founder of TCB Drones, right?
That is right.
Okay.
So she noticed that I'd put a post on TikTok about...
What was the post?
I needed a marketing team. I needed
You literally put a post out there
to say I want
on TikTok.
On TikTok. I said I'm looking for a marketing team, that kind of team that's going to help my business go to the next level.
So you had gone as far as you could go yourself.
Absolutely.
All right.
Because remember, this has been going on since 2005. I think I started actual sewing for people 2007. So bit by bit, I've been trying to figure my way through everything, little by little. Fashion is a really difficult industry to get into. It's very difficult to penetrate.
It's cutthroat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's cutthroat.
So knowing the ways to maneuver and do this and how to cut costs and do all of that, that took me all these years. So from that time to now is
so what you're saying is your long journey is now someone else's shortcut to success.
Amen. That's exactly it.
All right. So this 6-figure TikTok went out.
Right.
And now, were you currently working with a company even though you put that out there?
I had, you know what? Then I hadn't found. So from that post, I went on Google, started looking for some companies, and I found one, and I'm like, okay, this sounds like this, this could work.
They could do the dog and pony dance.
Right.
Okay.
They were, giving me the breakdown, and I'm like, okay, let's give it a go. I'm ready. Let's do it. But a week later, 2 weeks later, so much money had gone into that, and I'm just like.
So did you get even one lead?
No.
Come on now. Did someone said I'm here by accident?
I quickly looked at the dollars and I'm like, no, this is not working for me.
Wow.
And I'm not seeing any return on my investment at all. Like nothing is coming through. So Stephanie then looks at my TikTok and she goes, 𝐶𝐵𝐿, I just saw something on your TikTok. I know somebody. I'm like, you know someone? She says, can I give them your number? I said, go ahead. And next thing I know, Mr. Kevin Williams is calling me.
No, I actually texted you.
You texted me.
First, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I said, well, maybe this is not the right number because nothing ever happened. And then the next day, you text back and to acknowledge the text, and then we scheduled a call, right?
Right.
And so when I share with you what it takes to work with me, you was like, I can't do that. That's way too much money. Yeah. And I said, okay. And I said, but we're gonna do the Zoom meeting. I'm gonna show you everything. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm gonna show you how to do it yourself, right? And then I said, this is how we do it for you. And so I think, and I'm speaking for you, but I want you to speak. When you saw the list of doing it yourself, I guess, did that wear you out? And you just said, forget it. I think I can manifest the money. I've been manifesting everything else in my life through God.
So you know what? I had walked this road. I was really at the end of the road because I was tired of trying to figure things out on my own. Yeah. It had been so long. So when you talk to me about the pricing and everything, I'm just like, woo. Okay.
But let me tell you, here's what I want people to understand what she did not say. She never said I wasn't worth it. She never said the company wasn't worth it. She said, I've seen what you have done for Stephanie, so I know you're worth every penny. I just got to figure this thing out.
Absolutely.
And I said, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I saw what you could deliver. I saw it through Stephanie's page, and I'm seeing her. I mean, she is just blowing up right now. She's the first Black female TCB drone instructor.
Have an academy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing. Mm-hmm. And so many people are finding out about her, and I'm like, this is a unique niche, right? Mm-hmm. Not too many people have this. Right. But the way people are finding her, I was just blown away. I was like, absolutely, give him my number, have him call me. So we talked, and then we had the meeting, and then we started going to motion of working together. And so, do you recall how
we broke down this 90-day road path, like what need to happen first versus just throwing dollars out to marketing.
Yeah.
Because when if people see your website now, they'll be like, wow. But tell them what it looked like before.
Okay, it wasn't that bad because I did it myself.
You're right. Well, I mean, okay. It depends on who's looking at it, okay?
It was great.
Okay, it was marginal, but go ahead.
No, but you and your team came in and you revamped everything, redid my website, and it looks amazing. It looks great. I think
it's a website that matches the premium clothing on there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The navigation is nice and simple. You can see all the tabs. You really did it nicely.
And so even, and again, we're still in phase 1. Like next month will be phase 2. But can you tell a difference in just like how people are responding?
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't even done, again, phase 1 is just content. Phase 2 is when we go into, PR and things of that nature. But like, what type of, uptick have you noticed?
So I think, okay, let me start by saying this.
Okay.
When you showed me the deliverables, I did ask, like, what other deliverable? You say, don't worry, we got a Zoom coming up. We're going to give you everything, a PowerPoint that explains everything, right? When I saw that is exactly what I was looking for from the previous company, right?
And you didn't get that?
I didn't get that.
They just said, we're going to get you some leads.
Well, I trusted that they were going to do all of that. I didn't want to question, which I should have, but I didn't. So
coaching moment.
Yes.
You said you should have questioned it.
I didn't.
But you didn't. Do you think that moment you withdrew from what could be a legitimate conversation to ask questions?
Honestly, to me, at that point, it was about the deliverables. Because remember, money has already been pouring into this, and I'm not seeing any return on my investments. So why should I continue using them? I felt like, okay, I have to make an executive decision here. Quit that and go with what works. Now, I was willing to work with you because I had seen what you had done with my other counterparts. So that was a no-brainer for me. Even when I shared that with my husband, he listened. He's like, okay, because he knew where I'd come from all these years trying to do it on my own. And he's like, okay, that sounds good. Now, he's my sounding board. He's the logical thinker. So, yeah, when we sit down and we talk about things and we agree on a way forward, that's what I need because, my mind can be everywhere.
So I asked those questions to ask you this. Where do you see Panache Design as we get ready to go into 2026? Because this is December 2025. So, like, what are some things you see from a growth standpoint?
Right. I see Panache Designs being global. I see Panache Designs being sold in all continents in 2026.
So right now you currently serve United States, Canada, and in the UK?
And the UK.
Okay.
So I think with what you're bringing to the table, I think it's just going to elevate the brand to where it needs to be.
Okay. Now my question to you is, what income goal are you desiring to hit in 2026? And I didn't say want, I said desiring.
Desire.
Yeah.
We are going for $1 million in 2026.
Okay.
God has heard that.
All right.
I spoke it into existence.
Okay. Now, what advice would you give someone who wants to, get into the fashion line?
Just do it.
Okay. Do it how though?
They just got to do it. So with fashion, I always tell people there are no rules in fashion. That's rule number one.
There are no rules.
There are no rules in fashion.
Okay.
So you have to establish what you consider fashion. So as we know, like most people describe fashion as a statement, like what you're clothing, what you're wearing, you are communicating who you are to people that are around you, especially people that do not know you.
Mm-hmm.
So how you dress gives somebody else that perception. They can make that perception of who you are based on what you're wearing. So if you are that confident woman or the aspiring confident woman that you know you can be, you're gonna put on panache. You're gonna put on bold colors. You're gonna put on
because you want to
prints.
stand out and not.
You want to stand out,
in.
yes, and command the room.
Yeah.
So let your fashion talk for you. Let your clothing be the one that people see first, and they can determine that woman. Yeah.
You know, my wife says it best. She says, "How you dress is how you will be addressed."
That is absolutely right, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. So, who are some individuals, like stores, that you would like to collab with? Like, is it, department stores? Is it more upscale boutiques? What type of, stores would you like to have your, showcase your premium clothing?
So, because most of the clothings that we make are hand sewn, handmade from a small production, small capsules. We would fit more closely with small boutiques.
High-end boutiques.
High-end boutiques.
Okay.
Right? That can carry our product in their store and people can just come see it from there. Because Panache Designs currently is an online store.
Right. What type of stylists would you like to collab with? Like, are these stylists, models? Are they platform hairstylists? I mean, like what?
You know what? That's really a broad question, but I think from an individual standpoint, anyone that's attracted to color, anyone that's attracted to patterns,
okay,
and anyone that's attracted to texture.
Okay.
That's all. That's what we're about.
Now, and speaking of influencers, tell the story about this dress you made for a celebrity and like what happened.
Okay, so I think it was in 2022 or 2022.
Okay.
Around January, I decided I was going to design this dress and I was going to show the process on how I was making this dress. It was the first time. Everything that I was making, it's like, okay, how do I want it to look? So it was being designed as I made it. So I cut out my pattern, made this dress. I figured with the Black History Month that was coming up in February, I was thinking, who can we honor in our community? Every time we talk about celebrities, I mean, a few people come up, but I wanted to honor Viola Davis. I think she's just an amazing woman. And I was just, I just love the way she works, right? The choices in the characters and how she just gets into character. But I just wanted to make something to honor her for Black History Month. So I created this dress. It was yellow and blue. The patterns was sort of like a peacock feather, and I put it on Instagram. And I said, "People, Instagram, do your thing, and TikTok." And I said, "Please help me get this to Viola Davis." And people did their thing. It had over a million views.
Wow.
In a week, and I'd never seen that on any of my social medias.
Really?
So yes.
So are you going to do that again with another person?
Most likely.
Would it be somebody from Black Panther or
Black? Are you talking about Danai? Do you know Danai is from Zimbabwe? She's from my country.
Well, then why don't you do it for her?
I've never connected. I think I tried maybe.
I mean, but you call on the social media tribe.
I know.
What Chippo was crazy and we don't realize this? There's always somebody that's small that knows someone who we can't get to.
Right. That is true. That is true. If I can get connected with,
it's not a matter of if. Just build out the outfit and tell the TikTok, the Instagram tribe, hey, this is who I want to honor for Black History Month.
Okay.
Now, and this is recorded. I think she will adhere to the call.
I hope so.
I don't even hope. I know so.
Yeah. That'll be amazing. So Danai, if you can hear this, if you see this, call me.
Yeah, and to the TikTok tribe, Instagram tribe, and what other tribe is out there? YouTube tribe.
Facebook. Yes.
No, YouTube tribe.
Okay.
Oh, it's a huge YouTube tribe out there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's talk about workshops. If somebody wanted to bring you in to do a workshop, what would you teach on?
I would teach on self-acceptance. I'll teach on how to make purses, small bags, small things. Mm-hmm. Start off small and then show them how they can make their own patterns to start making something they can actually wear. So we start small and then we just move our way out.
And so now these patterns will probably start attracting like Boaz and not broke ass, right? What?
Okay, listen.
I just saying.
So it'll be great for them to have a product that they'll be able to sell, because that's how you can scale things, right? So in business, if you're going to start off with something that you can get raw material for, mm-hmm. that's not expensive. Mm-hmm. You can get the time to put it together and learn how to actually make it look meticulous. Like make it really look nice. Mm-hmm. Like the person is buying from a store. That's always been my goal. When I'm hand sewing something mm-hmm. or stitching something, mm-hmm. I want to make sure that the standard or the quality of what I'm making is good enough for somebody to go pick from a store and go, yeah, I'll buy this. Mm. So that's the level that. So there are different levels in sewing, right? Different quality, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so you got to make sure that what you make is good enough for someone to say, I want this. I'll pay for it. So if it's like small wallets mm-hmm. or even like little bow ties, that'll be a good start.
Are you gonna do anything are you gonna create a men's line, or you just kind of more focused?
Absolutely. Okay. The men's line, that has been very interesting because I've been focusing on women. Right. But
if you put together a pattern for me, I'll buy it.
So for me, there's a little bit of a difference there, because if we do pattern, you mean the fabric pattern?
I'm probably speaking the wrong language. If you put together a male shirt for me, right, mm-hmm. and like a blazer, I'll buy it from you. Okay.
Yeah, so I can do that to wear the same way that I'm doing. So there are different business models, right? Mm-hmm. There's one that somebody would say, hey, I have my piece of material. Can you make something for me? I don't do that because that is more custom. I can. Okay. Make it the way I'm making for the women right now. Mm-hmm. I design it. I make a sample. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, because I don't have that much time, I may send it out to a small company to do the production for me.
I mean, it's still, at the end of the day, made by Panache.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. So that's how I would do it for the men too. Because I've had so many men ask me, so you got nothing for the men? I'm like, it's coming. Okay. All right.
So I want you to look at that camera, and I want you to, share from the heart how people can, rally behind the movement. And that movement is, again, empowering women. But as it relates to empowering them, there's also what I call economic empowerment. And economic empowerment meaning, support the brand. So how can they support the brand?
They can support the brand by visiting PanacheDesigns.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's PANASHE Designs.com. Or they could also repost, like, and share on social media, TikTok,
yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, and I'm getting on YouTube.
You better. you need to, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, Chip,
sorry, all the handles there is at Panache Designs. It's only
Okay.
Facebook that's Panache Clothing Designs.
Okay. So I just want to say thanks for, sharing your story, sharing your heart today. And
You're welcome.
Panache Design, again, it's more than clothing, right?
Yes, it is.
It carries culture, meaning, and purpose.
Absolutely.
And for that, I think for everyone who's listening, if this episode inspires you, then you'll know to follow Panache Designs, support her work, purchase pieces, or even invite Chippo to your next conference or your next workshop, for those teaching opportunities. So again, I always like to say this is Catch the Vision, and we are about giving purpose, a platform, and your story fits perfectly here. Catch the vision, catch the vision, catch the vision.